If you wanna build a physique that will make women wanna rip your clothes off, with just calisthenics, you found the best video for that. Because today you are going to be learning from the master himself, the guy that built a physique that makes females go fucking crazy, and also helped me to get into a relationship with my cute feminine girlfriend at just 16 years old with kinda, you can say, horrible genetics. So let's get into it. You probably already know that a muscular physique is a trillion times more attractive than a skinny fat or a fat body. Because if you are watching this video, you are probably not one of the gay-ass motherfuckers who say like, oh, you need the curly hair, you need the cute face, you need to be 6'4". I'm the exact opposite. I'm 5'6" or 7. I have the face of a fucking caveman. And something really similar to a bald head. And I still have the capacity to pull way more bitches than the skinny neck, tall, curly hair, cute face motherfuckers. But did you know that there is a difference between an attractive muscular physique and a kind of a unattractive muscular physique? Like, hear me out. You probably already heard some people and also on like Instagram saying like, oh, I started going to the gym, bodybuilding, lifting weights or doing calisthenics in order to attract girls, but now only guys compliment me. And maybe you think this is normal because a lot of people tell stories like this. No, it isn't. Like, guys and also girls compliment my physique almost on a daily basis. On Instagram in DMs, or I just go outside and I see people looking at me. I go outside like a girl fucking cold approaches me. Like, maybe you think like, oh, he's bullshitting, that's not true. I know you don't believe me because you didn't experience that. And yeah, you can say the gym goers that get complimented by only guys have kind of shit social skills. But it's probably more likely because they didn't build the attractive muscle groups. And if you're like, what the fuck are attractive muscle groups? Because you've been probably told by some like bodybuilders that like, oh, you need the symmetrical physique.
Every muscle balanced in unison.
But then there are other guys telling you the opposite. So as you, I was kinda confused. Like, one guy saying this, one guy saying that, who should I follow? So I decided to conduct a 2-year-long experiment. And over the time, I crafted a list of the top 6 muscle groups that women actually find more attractive than the others. And the last one is something that I absolutely didn't expect to make it on the list at all. But all of the girls from my sample size, that sounds so wrong when I say it, labeled as probably the most attractive. And if you are like, oh, how did the experiment look like? You grabbed a piece of paper and like, oh, could you please label the top 6 attractive muscle groups for me before I proceed to grab you by the neck and fuck the shit out of you? I'm not a geek, but if you are that curious, I did it by watching their body language and other non-verbal cues and like indirect questions and all of these other types of strategies. So now I'm going to name the muscle and then I'm going to name 2 to 3 calisthenics exercises that target those exact muscle groups the best. And some of these exercises you probably never even saw. That's how like specific they are. The first one is the V-taper. This is probably heard this a trillion times, like, oh, the aesthetic V-taper, so I'm quickly going to go over it. There are 2 main components to the V-taper. There is the slim waist, and then there is the wide back. The slim waist, the only way you can actually control it is by getting leaner and controlling your diet and doing like faster paced workouts, so you just need to burn fat. There are no ways to get a smaller waist. Everybody that tells you like, oh, 6-minute waist slimming workouts is fucking bullshit. It just doesn't work like that. It just most of the time complete genetics. But the best thing you can do is to just get lean, and then the second part, which is the wide back, is the thing that you can actually change, and I will give you 3 exercises just for that. The first one is the reverse deadlift. I'm going to show you the technique over here. It's pretty straightforward, and this really good targets the lats. The first time I started doing reverse deadlifts, I literally felt the tendons hurt because I was like really skinny when I started, and my tendons were also really weak, and I felt my back literally grow. It was actually my first strong side because I used to just do these 3 exercises over and over again. The next one is arched body pull-ups. You can see the correct technique over here. You try to arch your back, and a really good thing is try to bring your elbows back and together, almost like together behind your back to really get the squeeze. And at the bottom, really make sure to stretch those shoulder blades and control the eccentric, because that's where are also some bonus gains. And then the third exercise, it is the inverted row. A really good exercise, but pretty difficult for beginners, so I recommend adding a resistance band like this. Number 2, traps. Traps and also like this big upper part, which also complements the V taper to like get bigger, a bigger, wider upper part. Like the traps are so difficult to train, or I thought, with calisthenics. Because in the gym you just grab like the trap bar and you do this, you do some shrugs. It's super easy. But with calisthenics it's pretty difficult to do. That's why I will show you just one exercise for now. It is this one. I called it the reverse elevated feet shrug. Pretty good exercise. And you can actually really feel the burn without too much blood getting into your head. Now the third one, the neck. This is a really underrated muscle that literally makes you look more masculine, more like a man. But it's really hard to target with calisthenics, as like the traps. And if you try the basic calisthenics neck exercise like, oh, neck bridges like Mike Tyson, like spinning around your fucking head. I tried this, and while I was doing like neck bridges, with the correct technique, but the technique is just so weird, like my neck like cracked a little bit, and I couldn't turn my head to the left side for around 3 days. So if you want to train the neck without getting paralyzed, here are the top 4 exercises to do that. Here is a broad explanation of them. You can see the video, but you anchor a thin resistance band, because if you are calisthenics, I account that you have a thin resistance band. You anchor it to the side, you run it over your head, you hold it down a little bit, make sure to keep your elbow like forward, so you don't like cramp the neck. It's like way better to have it like this, hold it, and like that. It's pretty difficult at first to get the technique down, but after that it's super easy, and you will feel that it's 100 times better than breaking your neck by spinning on the ground like a Beyblade. Number 4, the delts, the shoulders, the width, the 3D shoulders. And I'm going to tell you how to build those 3D shoulders. Why is it called like 3D? Because it's like 3-dimensional, but also the shoulder has 3 heads. Like many people say like, oh, it's like 3 heads, but it's like fucking 10,000, because you can see on some good pictures like just trillions. I don't have a pump right now because I didn't work out before this, but I'll definitely put a picture on the screen. And the front delt, if you do enough dips, is probably even overdeveloped, because you do it with dips, with like planches. I do a lot of planche and dips, so my front delts are really good. But the side and the rear delts are the most overlooked by calisthenics athletes. So let me give you an exercise for the side delt and the rear delt. For the side delt, we are going to do something called as the leaning lateral raise. The leaning lateral raise is really good because it puts way more tension on the stretched part of the shoulder. Because in most lateral raises, the most tension is over here. And like the muscle is basically contracted, like it basically goes up to here. But when you are leaning on something and you have a resistance band and it's over there, it's really difficult on this part. And also all the way from here, from the stretched part, because that's why you want to do the stretch. Also on the arch body pull-ups, you focus on the stretch to really get that muscle to build. Also over here, so you get that good stretch and flare all the way up. Amazing exercise. And for the rear delt, I also mentioned one of these. It is the reverse deadlift. It's really good for the rear delt. But the next one, which also helped me to fix my absolutely shit posture, it is the band behind the back pulls. This is the best exercise for the rear delt by far. Number 5, the obliques. Because if you're a calisthenics athlete like me, you probably already trained the core and like the front abs with a bunch of front levers, dragon flags, knee raises, whatever. But what most calisthenics athletes skip, because they think like, oh, I trained the core. That's all of the muscles. It is, but not that much. It's mainly the front. So the exercise to specifically target the obliques is called the dynamic side plank. Like, I probably called it like this, it probably has a different name, but you lean on the side, you need to experiment with the hand placement, like really, because I like had shoulder problems from the beginning because I like didn't basically eat anything when I was like 11 years old. I was like super skinny. I didn't want to be on pictures. That's why I unfortunately don't have like any start progress pictures. I already have like when I was like a year into training or 2 years into training, but I still kind of look skinny. But my shoulders used to pop in this lateral motion, not in this. That's why my dips are really good, but it took me a lot of time to get used to like this movement, like for the bench press that I sometimes do today. So experiment with the hand placement, and when you find the correct hand placement, the side that you are leaning on, the foot, you are going to place it forward and the next foot back. Twist a little bit this way and you can do the exercise and really focus on stretching and squeezing at the top to really get all of that activation. Now number 6, you probably won't expect this one, but quads. The amount of girls that find thick, juicy quads sexy is just absolutely insane. And also my current girlfriend, oh my god, they are so big, that's so sexy. When I put it on my Instagram story, she always comments how good they look. I love when she does that. But if you are a chronic leg skipper, like I used to be like 2 to 3 years ago, this is your calling to start training legs. So let me give you some 3 basic leg exercises for calisthenics athletes. Because I used to start training calisthenics and I was like, I'm not going to train legs because they make static skills like from the reverse planches harder. But there is also not a really good way to do legs. Like you can do squats. Squats get too easy after like a month of training them. I could do like 100 and I was like, that's easy. So there are 3 exercises that make it a bit more difficult. The first one is one leg squats, not pistol squats, like one leg squats. You lean into one side and make sure to like twist your leg upright so it is a lot better doing that exercise. And if you add a resistance band on your shoulder and on your foot, the burn is going to be crazy after like 15 reps. And like 10 all the way up to 30 reps is for hypertrophy. So if you can do like 25 reps, don't worry, you are still in the hypertrophy zone. You are not doing cardio. Now the next one, you've probably heard about it. Pistol squats, really easy, really advanced. But yeah, then you have sissy squats. This is really good. When you have a lower bar and make sure to be completely straight. Like imagine these are your 3 points, your knee, your glutes and your shoulders. And there is a line going through them and you can't bend the line. And you go down exactly in that line. So you don't go down like this, like a gremlin or whatever. You just are completely straight, like this. And if you want to learn how to train hamstrings, which is really difficult to do with calisthenics if you think about it, you should check out Calisthenics School. It's my own, no BS school community with in-depth courses, live calls, guides on muscle and strength building, fat loss, bulking up if you are a skinny guy, all these things, and most importantly, the full-length aesthetic body course, with also the guides to the 3 attractive body types. So it doesn't matter if you are skinny, you have your own body type that you can fit into, that's really attractive. If you are skinny fat, you have your own body type that is the easiest to build with your skinny fat starter physique. Also, if you are a bit overweight, you have another body type that you can go after. So it literally doesn't matter if you are starting out skinny, skinny fat or fat. And there is also a huge list with like 6 calisthenics exercises for every single muscle group of the human body, with detailed explanations how to do the technique, how many like sets and reps is optimal, all of these things, and also how to put these exercises into a full-blown workout routine that's specifically adjusted to your goals. And also a bunch of other things like for example, the testosterone course that helps you build more muscle, because the more testosterone you have, the more you optimize your testosterone, the easier it is to train, the more energy you have, and the faster you gain muscle. So if you want to check out all of the things that you get in Calisthenics School, make sure to click the link in the description. Bye, take care bro, you got this.